but I was not going to stay in that role because of that manager. I needed to advance my career. Do you remember C-19 when we started that in 2020? They said, stay in your homes and everybody will be safe. We'll stop the spread. Remember that? And we were told that that was the only way to stop it. It was already in America. That's like saying, oh, we got a tidal wave coming and we'll just put up some sandbags. No matter what your situation is, companies that you work for, no matter who you work for, no matter what corporation you work for, they're going to lie to you. They're going to, and by there, I mean the people who run the company, the managers, the people who operate things. There's a thin layer of people who run the company. They are going to lie to you. And the question becomes, if we are in a situation in which a company is going to be sold, in which we know the company is going to be sold, the company that we work for is going to get sold, is my job going to be okay? Am I going to lose my job? And how should I know if I'm going to lose my job? Let's read this posting on Reddit where they say, selling or bankruptcy. I currently work in sales for a steel company. I started as a truck driver with the same company. 3 weeks ago, our parent company informed us that we were being sold and the possible buyers were interested in keeping the staff. Okay, anytime your company is being sold, the company you work for is going to be sold. You're going to have somebody come in. You're going to have new management, new decision makers. And they're always going to tell you the bright and shiny thing. They're always going to tell you the thing that you want to hear. Now, the reality is they may actually really want to keep every person that's there because the management of your current company are all going to be gone. And they'll need to know how to run things. And you're the only one who knows how to run things. You're the only one because you've been there. There's always that contention, that uncertainty, that when we're going to be changing over hands to somebody else, that we're going to lose our job. All right, let's just finish this posting here. They say, we've received collection calls on equipment, returned equipment, laid off drivers, website no longer works, and our parent company fired approximately 30 people on Friday. That's all in the past 2 weeks. Prior to that, cut overtime, stopping hiring, lay off a few people, and have burned bridges with mills on getting new inventory. So you can guess what sales is accomplishing today. And the question is, are they selling or are they going into bankruptcy? Now, this is a situation where corporations will always tell their employees what it is that they need to tell them. They'll tell you what you want to hear. Because they know that if you're at all concerned about the company, and you get a little nervous that you're going to leave, that you're going to start looking for another job. And this happens in a corporate environment. Have you ever been that person when we go into mid-year reviews? You sit down with the manager and they say, you're pretty darn good. We like you. We like you a lot. And if you keep this up, we'll be promoting you and you're going to make an extra 50 cents an hour. Have you ever heard that before? I know I have. I know I've heard the dangle the carrot speech many, many times. And it's a pull on our emotions. It's a pull on what it is that we think we need. And really, in those cases, it's just a motivational trick. It's a trick to try to keep you focused so you'll stay motivated, so you'll keep working hard, so you won't leave. But we always run into this manipulation. And then, like in this case, when they're talking about, okay, well, they don't know if they're going to be selling the company or if they're just going to be filing for bankruptcy. And so what would be the benefit? This is a salesperson in this posting. What would be the benefit of keeping you around? And so what are you supposed to do when you're in situations where management, when the place you're working at is communicating with you in a certain way, they're telling you something bad is going to happen. Something different is about to happen, but everything is going to be okay. I know when I went to ITT, I went to that college, I was taking classes in software development, that one term they said, by the way, we just want to let you know that no matter what, everybody here, they told us this, I'm not kidding you. They said, no matter what happens, all of you are going to be able to finish your degrees. You're all going to be able to finish whatever major is that you get. And I was like, oh, awesome. I'm going to be able to finish my associates. And then at the end of the term, they said, nope, we're closing. By the way, next week, we're done. Screw you guys. We're going home. And that's what they did. But they told us what we needed to hear to make us feel good, to keep us around, to keep us from finding a different path in life, to keep us from no longer paying them. And see, that's what it's really about. We don't, managers and businesses, we don't want you to leave because you're a benefit. You're valuable. When I worked as a software developer, I started looking for a new job. The manager that I worked for, my direct manager, got fired. And it wasn't long after that I actually ended up getting interviewed for another position. And I literally, once I found out that I was going to be hired full-time in this other position, I let my manager know. I gave him, my new manager, I gave him a 2-week notice. And he called me right away and said, is this something that I did? Is it something that we could do to help you, to keep you to stay, to keep you here, to keep you from leaving? Now, we understand that the prior manager was somebody you worked with a long time. Don't do this. Can you stay with us? I said, no. I was planning on leaving in the first place. I'd been hired by that manager, but I was not going to stay in that role because of that manager. I needed to advance my career. My upward trajectory was I was still going up. I still had plenty of direction to go. My career, my 5-year plan was not yet complete. But they tried to tell me what I wanted to hear. They tried to convince me to stick around. But I didn't. I didn't do that because that was wrong for me. And so whenever somebody is communicating a major event is about to happen, they're always going to tell you the best case scenario. They're always going to tell you what you want to hear. If we put this in context of our current American politics and media, they're going to tell you, oh, it's no big deal. The economy is just crumbling. Nothing to worry about here. In the meantime, all their friends are cashing out their stocks. But they say, no. Keep your stock in. Keep yours because you'll need that someday. And this is always what we're told. This is the manipulation that happens. This happens in media, happens in business, happens in politics. It happens all over. And this is why we have to be prepared. This is why we mentally have to understand what the situation is and what's going on. If somebody is telling you that a big thing is happening and everything is going to be okay, it's time to do the opposite thing. Do the opposite thing of what they told you. Do you remember C-19 when we started that in 2020? They said, stay in your homes and everybody will be safe. We'll stop the spread. Remember that? And we were told that that was the only way to stop it. It was already in America. That's like saying, oh, we got a tidal wave coming in. We'll just put up some sandbags and that'll stop the water. No. Once things cross into your territory, like C-19 did, there was no stopping it. So we had two choices at that point. We could either do what the media told us, the experts told us, and hide in our houses, or we just say, we're going to tough it out and we're going to make it work and we're going to keep living because that's our only choice. It's going to hit us whether we like it or not. And that's what we did. Many of us didn't want to do that. Many of us want to hide and to be afraid. And from my understanding, many people still are afraid. And so the question is this company selling or are they filing for bankruptcy? Obviously, from a Reddit perspective, there's no way of knowing. I don't know. But whenever management speaks to you in this way, you need to be prepared. That's a red flag. It's time to make a decision. You should have made a decision already, but now it's time to make a move. The manipulations are strong. The manipulations are constant. They're to keep you around. They're to keep you to do something that you wouldn't normally want to do. So be mindful, be strong, and be aware of what's going on around you, because you'll need it. That's it for today. I'm SB Graham. This is Jobferno. If you have any questions, send me an email at questions@jobferno.com. And as always, choose skills over money.